everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be learning project management as it relates to event management. So let's learn together. Stick around. Yay! Hello everybody, I'm Oluwadara from eventigo.com.ng, where I plan and manage events for my clients to help them communicate excellently. Welcome to my channel. If you've not subscribed, please remember to subscribe. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. And then if you have particular things you would like me to talk about, or you have questions regarding this video or generally event planning, please let me know in the comment section below. So let's start. Okay, so project management and then event management. In my previous video, I mentioned that you take some tips from project management and you apply to making sure your event is great. But then today I'm going to be speaking a little bit more on that. As an event manager, it is important for you to understand what your responsibilities are. So if a client contracts a job to you, and then you need to know what your roles and responsibilities are. You need to also let the client know what your roles and responsibilities are, so that, because there's this tricky thing where, of course, you're very concerned about everything about the event, and then we tend to go out of our way. I'm not saying that it's wrong to go out of to do more than what is expected of you, but then it is important that there is clarity, so that you don't go pursuing the wrong things. Meanwhile, your event is suffering, because by the time the event is suffering, trust me, the client will not remember. Say, no, but you're a professional now, you should know these things. I expected that you were going to do this. I expected that when I was sending you to the market to go and buy souvenirs for me, you would tell me that, you know what, I actually have a vendor that can do this, or all of that. So it's very important for us to be focused. It's important for us to understand our roles and responsibilities, and also communicate those things to the client, so that the client is not assuming that, oh, you're the decorator, for example, or you're the caterer, and person just feels, oh, because I have an event planner, I'm basically like hands off my event, and then the event planner will do everything, and then the event planner is supposed to source for my Ashoebi, is supposed to do this and all of that. So it's important that we're clear. This is specific to weddings now. And then we should also understand the project constraints. So typically a client will say, oh, you know what, I'm getting married, or my daughter is getting married, or my son is getting married, and things like that. And then they contract the job to an event planner or an event manager. And then, so you need to understand, typically you ask, okay, so what's your vision? What do you see? What do you want for that day? How do you want to feel? How do you want the guests to feel? And things like that, so that it helps you when you're developing the plan for the event. So you need to understand particular things. A major constraint is, of course, budget. Sometimes we want to have houses on the sea, but then our budget is not even enough to sandfill the land. So it's important to understand the project constraints that you're going to Yes, project constraints, it's a project management terminology, but you can also apply it to your event. So understand the project constraint, so that you are able to work well. You're not going out, you're not pursuing things that already they're out of your control. So it's also important for us to identify our team members and stakeholders. So who are the particular people that are the stakeholders to this event? Sometimes you just say, oh, it's my direct clients, but many times, especially for weddings, your direct client is not the only stakeholder. So there are a lot of stakeholders involved and decision makers in that event. So you need to be able to identify your stakeholders, and then you also need to be able to identify your team members, so that you can work closely together. Because if you are not working closely with them, or if there is disagreement, for example, it's not going to help. Trust me, it's not going to help your event at all. Another project management learning is being able to identify all tasks. So now the client has given you the job. You say, you know what, you're my event planner, you're my event manager, and I want to get married in July, for example, and then I have maybe 5 months to plan, or you have 6 months to plan, and then you should be able to identify all the tasks. So you identify, oh, okay, part of those tasks would include how many vendors are we going to need? So you've been able to say, okay, you know what, the client already gave you the brief. I want a magical wedding, for example. I want everything to be magical. I want a lot of magic at the wedding. So you need to be able to identify all the tasks that you need. That is going to be, of course, incorporated into your timeline, which I'm going to speak on later. So this is just a short break before we continue. Hope you've been learning something. If you've been learning anything, please let me just know what you've learned in the comment section below. Remember to give this video a thumbs up if you like what you're listening to so far, and then remember to subscribe. So subscribe and then click the bell button so that you get notifications whenever I post any video. Welcome back from that break. I hope you've already subscribed to this channel and you've made your comments below. So let me just continue. So you need to be able to set deadlines and then timelines. So you need to have like a timeline of, okay, I have 11 months to plan, for example, or I have 10 months to plan. What am I going to be doing every week? What are those things? What are the things that needs to come first? What are the things that I can move to later, so that it's not just mumbled up. You're not just saying, okay, no, this person is sorted. Oh, this person is sorted. Or it gets to some months to the event and you're like, wow, we still have so much to do. I've not done this. I've not done that. And then you're panicking and the client says, why do I have an event planner if I have to be stressing? So you need to be able to set deadlines and then, of course, timelines for everything. You also, with that, so including in the timeline, you need to be able to say, okay, you know what, the first week of the planning process, this and this and these are the things we're going to be doing. Second week, third week, all the way till you get to the event day. And then you also need to be able to track your progress. So what are the things I'm doing? So I was supposed to, for example, get a venue between week 1 and 2. At the end of week 2, or in fact at the end of week 1, you track your progress. How many venues have I actually visited? How many venues have I inspected? Do we have any prospects? Because you don't just go about choosing venue and say, oh, I like this venue and then I pick it. No, you pick venue based on the type of event you're having, and there's so many other things that you look at before eventually deciding on whether or not a venue is going to be appropriate. So after the first week, you look at it, okay, you know what, I'm making progress, or you know what, all the venue we sourced for, none of it fits into the type of event we want to have. Where am I with so that is actual versus what was previously planned. So you need to be able to track your progress so that if you need to adjust, you can adjust the timeline and then not overwork yourself. And then the last thing I'm going to be speaking about for this episode is you need to be flexible. And sometimes we get carried away. So we say, you know what, I want to be done planning this event 2 months before the event. And then for some reason, maybe the client is just dragging, or there was something they're waiting for, there's an approval they're waiting for that they've not gotten and things like that. And you're like, you don't understand. I need to get this thing sorted. I need to get this thing done. You guys are delaying me. You are this, you are that. No, you need to also be flexible. So when there's a reason for a delay, for example, you need to now be able to measure it. Okay, this delay, if a decision is made by specific time, will it still meet our target? Will it still correspond with our timeline? You actually need to be flexible with your timeline. So it's not going to be a rigid timeline, but then you try as much as possible to make sure that you don't leave everything out of your control. So that brings me to the end of today's episode. Remember to give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Remember to also subscribe to my channel, and then let me know what you think in the comment section. So till I see you next time, bye bye.